Last Breath is, of course, a movie that came out recently to some very interesting reviews. Now, of course, because it is before the vast majority of people have watched the film, there's not a lot of reviews, right? But besides that, we'll go with what we have. And that is 8 out of 10 by Screen Rant, 61% by Metacritic, 38% of Google users like the movie. That is the lowest, right? And 83% by Rotten Tomatoes. Now, Rotten Tomatoes is just the critics. Once again, technically hasn't come out at the time of this recording. But the movie is, of course, about the real life events of deep sea divers, where one of them gets stranded under the ocean, and the rest of the crew has to obviously rescue him before, certain death in a raging storm. I do believe they made this movie before, back in 2015, so 2025. Any better? I don't know. I haven't watched the first one. Right, but besides that, since it hasn't come out yet, and the vast majority of people haven't watched it, non-spoiler review, it's a pretty good movie. I don't know why I expected a lot more, which is probably why it not ruined the movie, but definitely brought it down a little bit. It's kind of like what I talked about Godzilla X Kong, where I was thinking about, oh, it's gonna happen this, and then it doesn't happen, and then I don't like the movie as much because I ruined the movie for myself. This technically didn't count because I still like the movie. Same thing with Godzilla, but I thought there would be more action, and pacing is a little weird, mostly because 1 second it goes, oh, he only has 5 minutes left of oxygen. Two, oh, no, he's out, within 2 scenes. But then again, it makes sense. What are you gonna show for 5 minutes? Just some dude under the ocean? I mean, maybe. Actually, that probably could have been good. A little bit more of what his underwater. But then again, it is a real life story, so maybe he wasn't thinking about anything, or he can't even remember it. To be fair, so it makes sense why they did that. But overall, the cinematography is great. I like the soundtrack. The is it called soundtrack? I like the music and the effects that they have. Except this one now, it was like reverse cymbal. I don't know, it was like or something like that when it gets tense. And it's super loud. I think it was God damn, that thing's a little too loud, right? But it's a good movie. Obviously, great cast. You have I do believe Simu Liu. I think that's how you pronounce it. Unfortunately, my bad. Woody Harrelson, which is probably the only reason why I was checking out the movie. Starring Woody Harrelson. I was like, oh, hey, I know that guy. And Finn Cole. Those are your main cast. Obviously, you also have the people on board. I liked it. It has some very emotional scenes. Maybe you might shed a tear. Most likely not, but you will feel sadness. And there is a very powerful scene at the end of the near the end of the movie. And I really like that. It's my favorite scene of the movie. Obviously, it's a non-spoiler review, so I can't talk about it. But I liked it for the most part. I liked the way the cast maneuvers, obviously, on the boat. Very nice. I like the comedy a little bit. It's not too much of it, but when it is, it's a very pleasant thing. I like even I guess you could say the side cast, people on the boat. I like them too. But the one thing I didn't get from this movie is, I guess, suspense. I think I wanted a little bit more suspense, because there are some scenes where maybe they could have dragged it a little bit more, because it is an hour and 30 minutes, which, to be fair, it's a good runtime. It's more of just they could have done more, I guess you could say, because there are some scenes that are a little bit suspenseful, but I feel like it ends too quickly. I think it ends too quickly, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. You still feel suspenseful, especially on the underwater scenes. Very well done. Very well done. Would I recommend this movie? To be honest, like I said, we do these. We're doing a tier this time around, and not. Well, at least I don't know. You get the point, right? This one's an easy discount Tuesday. Easy discount Tuesday. It's a very good movie, but it isn't one oh, you have to watch it. You got to go to the theater now type of movie. It's not, but it is an enjoyable movie that I do believe a lot of people would like. It is, I guess you could say, slow for some people, but it runs pretty nicely. But yeah, that's about it. I expected more, but that's just me, I guess, being a little delusional. But it's a very good, somewhat emotional, very somewhat suspenseful, and a very powerful movie. I get why people wouldn't like this movie, because it is a little bit slow, and I guess the pacing is a little weird. I feel like they were told to make the movie in an hour and 30 minutes, instead of, oh, we filmed everything and it turned out to be an hour and 30 minutes, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I like the movie for the most part. It's very nice, very sentimental. It make you care about the main character, even though he's kind of out of the movie before the halfway point, but who cares? Still makes you care. Woody Harrelson, pretty good. Besides that, that's the end of the spoiler-free review. And the spoiler review, not much to say differently from the spoiler-free, other than there's a scene where like he finally runs out of oxygen, right? You know, you watch the movie, finally runs out of oxygen. I don't know. I guess it's more of a me thing, but I thought the scene should have been dragged out a little bit more. You know, made you really feel it, but I feel like it ended too quickly, which I already said in the spoiler-free review. But personally, I thought the scenes should be dragged out a little bit more. But the powerful scene I was talking about, you probably know which one I'm talking about, is when Simu's character, David, is carrying Chris back on top, or back to the vessel, and he obviously is tired out because who wouldn't? And he keeps slipping on the rope, and he has to keep fighting it. It's a very powerful scene. I liked it. You know, best scene of the movie for me. I liked it a lot. The captains, I liked them too. I liked a little bit of the dynamic. Another scene that I thought should have been dragged out a little bit more, which I don't know how much more, maybe like an extra minute or something, was when the guy was rebooting the system, because we go from, oh, we're here, and then we just go back to the dude with the wires, and he fixes it. I mean, don't get me wrong, he gets it wrong one time, but I don't know. Just because it's based on a true story doesn't mean it has to be word for word, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you could show him missing. I don't know. Missing the thing. I don't know. I don't know how it works because was it based on a true event, so they can't change too much, obviously. Okay, well, except Napoleon, right? But we'll talk about that. But yeah, I just feel like some scenes should have been dragged out. I like the last scene in the ocean where he's carrying his comrade. Yeah, I liked it. You know, rate it, I would be 7.5 to an 8. I liked it. Nothing too special, but it is a movie that, yeah, people would like, you know? I like it. But besides, there's not much to say. It is an hour and 30 minutes, so obviously there's not a lot to say. So I'm just going on tangents, I guess, or just going in circles. So I need to learn to stop that. But besides that, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.